Hi everyone, welcome to my tutorial. My name is Agnes in case you're new to the channel. On today's tutorial we are going to be doing this front tie bralette top. As you can see, you can tie it both ways. Either you can tie it all the way down like this, or you can also just do the middle tie and just leave the bottom, you know, like bare kind of. It has a back that it looks like this, bare most of it, but yeah, so we'll be going straight into the video. It's simple. If you have a few hours to spare in the day, you will be able to do this in less than 4 hours. So let's go straight into the tutorial. This is what you will need. A 3.0 millimeter hook. That's what I used for this tutorial. You'll need a tape measure, scissors, and for this tutorial I used this one ball of Alize Diva Plus yarn. It is kind of stretchy and silky. I love the silkiness in it, and these are the yards. So yeah, let's start. So for this tutorial you're going to do the bra cups first. I already have one of them. This is a small size, bust measurements 30. So this is how I did it. Make a slip knot, and you are going to chain enough chains from your underbreast to your nipple. This I did 17 chains. I did 17 chains. Okay, and this is an equivalent of about 2.8 inches. So for a one, you are going to yarn over, skip the first 2 stitches, skip the first 2 chains, and into the third chain make a double crochet. So for this tutorial we're going to be using double crochets. You're going to your next chain and make your second double crochet. Going to the next chain, make your third double crochet, and I will go down every chain with 1 double crochet. All right, till the end. I'll meet you at the end. So I have my 15 double crochets. This is how it looks like. So for you're just going to go around once you get to the bottom in this very last my 15th double crochet, right? So I'm in that very last chain. I'm going to start my second double crochet. That's my 16th. Then chain 1. And now I'm like working on the other side, so I'll again insert 2 half double crochets in that same chain. So in that very last chain I have 4 double crochets, 2 on each side, separated one with 1 chain. So now I'm working on exactly the opposite side, so it is going to be 1 double crochet in every chain going downwards. So I insert 14 chains of this, double crochets, 14 double crochets. Until you get to the bottom. I'll see you right there. All right, I did my other round, so this is our row 1. So we are now going to chain 2, then turn our work and work on row 2. So in this very first stitch you will insert a double crochet. Going to the next stitch, make a double crochet, and into the next make a double crochet, and you are going to make 1 double crochet in every stitch until you get to the top where we did our increase, and I'll meet you there to show you how we increase again for row 2. This is a basic bralette bra cup, so most of you know how to do this. So at the top where I have my chain 1, I'm going to insert 2 double crochets in that space. That's 1, and that's my second double crochet. Then chain 1, and into that same chain space you are going to insert 2 more double crochets. So that's 1, and that is 2. So I'm going to go into the next, on top of the next double crochet into that next stitch and make a double crochet, just 1. Go into the next stitch, make your second double crochet on the other side, and you are going to go down this row with 1 double crochet in every stitch until you get to the bottom of this row. So this is going to be my last stitch right there, right? And this is how it looks like. So for the next row, you're going to chain 2, turn your work. In that very first stitch, insert a double crochet, and you are going to repeat this pattern until you have enough coverage for your bust. Okay, so repeat the same pattern like we did for row 2, and I'll meet you once you have something like this. As for me, I had 6 rows. Okay, and this is about 2.5 inches. Yeah, about 2.5 inches from the middle. All right, so I'm done with my 2 cups. Excuse me. They're identical. This is how they look like. Right, these are able to cover my bust, 30 inches of bust. So from the bottom to the top, it's about this much, and this is about 5 inches from side to side. Okay, so have your 2 cups. On your second one, do not cut off your yarn once you're done with your second one, and we are going to chain 1 on the bottom of this, work single crochet. So in that very first stitch right there, insert a single crochet into that space, make a second single crochet on top of that row, make your other single crochet. So you are going to insert 2 single crochets in every row for this. So that's 1 and that's 2. That's 1 and that's 2. So insert 2 single crochets in every row at the bottom until you are at the end of this. This is just to clean it up and make it, you know, easier to work the next pattern. So it's 2 single crochets in every row. That is 1 and that's 2. Okay, do until you get to the end. All right, so I'm at the end and this is how it looks like. So we want to join to the other side, but since it is open at the back, I mean in the front, this is going to be the back area. Okay, so for this, I'm going to chain a chain that stretches to half my bust measurement. So the bust measurement is 30. So I'm going to chain enough so that it covers 15 inches when stretched. 15 inches when stretched. So that will be my back chain. Okay. So make enough chains to cover from one rib area to your other rib area at the back when that chain is stretched. So you keep measuring. That is what I do. I keep, you know, chaining and measuring until I have my measurements. Mine is 15. Okay, so I want 15, right? When I stretch my yarn, this is what I already have. You see it stretches to 15 inches at the back. So yeah, I'll just now connect it to the other bra cup with a slip stitch. So a single crochet with a single crochet, and do the same at the bottom. So it's 2 single crochets in every row at the bottom. So this is 1 and this is 2. The next row, that's 1 in the middle of the stitch and then at the top of the stitch, and do that until you get to the other side. Alright, so I'm at the end, and now we're going to row 2. So you're going to chain 2, then turn your work, and you're going to work a row of double crochets. So insert a double crochet in that very first stitch, like that. Go into your next stitch, make a double crochet. So we are now working downwards, okay? The down part of the top, this is what we are making, and do a double crochet in every stitch. This covers from, you know, the front to the back. Do that, and I'll meet you at the end of the here where you have chains. All right, so I'm done with the bra cup, and now we are where we have chains. So in this chain, you are going to make a double crochet, go into the next chain, make a double crochet, and you are going to make 1 double crochet in every chain, like this. Okay, so it's 1 double crochet in every chain. Do this along the chain and along the bottom of the next bra cup, and I'll meet you once you're done with this row. All right, so this is how it looks like. I'm done with my first row, right? So for row 2, you are going to make a decrease. Okay, so skip that very first stitch. Okay, go into your next stitch and make a double crochet. So you're going to be make a double crochet in your second stitch. Go into your third stitch, make your second double crochet, and make 1 double crochet in every stitch for this bottom part. And once you're left with 2 stitches, I'll meet you to complete the row right here. All right, this is my row 2, so I have 2 stitches left. I'm going to skip this last one, second last one, and make a double crochet into the last one. So we made a decrease on our row 2. So for row 3, we are going to change the pattern. We're going to do the mesh one. So you're going to chain 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then you're going to turn your work and then skip the first 2 stitches, and into your third stitch you are going to make a double crochet. Then you're going to chain 2, skip the next 2 stitches, and into your third one make a double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, into the third one make a double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and make a double crochet. And basically you are going to repeat this pattern for row 3 until you get to the end of the other side. Right, so make this mesh, and I'll meet you once you are at the end of the row right here. Alright, so I'm done with my mesh row. This is how it looks like. So for the next row, we are just going to repeat what we did for row 1. So chain 2, turn your work, and okay, you are going ignore that very first stitch that I did there. Just insert 2 stitches in the chain space like this, 2 stitches, and then make your 3rd stitch on top of that previous double crochet. Go into the next space, make 2 double crochets and a 3rd double crochet on top of that previous double crochet, then in chain space 2 double crochets. So it's going to be that pattern: 2 double crochets in the chain space, 1 double crochet on top of the previous double crochet, 2 double crochets in the chain space, 1 double crochet on top of the previous double crochet, until you get to the end of the row, right? So I'm at the end, and this is how it looks like. So for our second row, please insert only 2 double crochets in that very last chain space. Ignore my last one, okay? Ignore it. All right, so I did this voiceover right after I was done. So chain 2, turn your work, and for our second row, after the mesh one, we are always going to be doing a decrease. So skip the first stitch, go into the next stitch and make a double crochet, okay? So we are making a decrease just like we did on the previous set of rows. So once you do your decrease, make 1 double crochet in every stitch until you get to the end of this second row. Once you get to the end of this second row, make a decrease at the end. And for row 3, that is the row of mesh, then repeat what you did for the previous row, and I will definitely repeat this until I have my height. So it's a set of 3 rows: 1 double crochet, 1 decrease, and 1 mesh. Repeat that pattern. All right, so this is what I have, and this is about 5 inches. So this is from your under breast downwards, and now I want to do the edging. This is able to fit what size I'm doing, which is a small. Okay, it's long enough. So now for the edging, you're going to chain 1, and we are going to do the sides and make it neat with single crochet. So you put 2 single crochets in every row. This is on the side area, just to make it neat. 2 single crochets in every row on your side. So I'm just going to be putting into the stitch area like this. So that's 1 and that's 2. That's 1 for this row and that's 2 for this row. To the next row, that's 1 and that's 2. So clean out the side with single crochets until you are done from where we have that up to here. Okay, so I'm done. This is what I have, so clean. And now you are just going to slip stitch and cut off your yarn. Go ahead and do the same for the other side. Make single crochets on the other side, clean it out, and it should look something like this, both ends. Okay, and I'll meet you once you have everything clean on both sides. So for this one, I will just start from the top to the bottom. The other side I did bottom to top, now I do top to bottom, just to have the same stitch facing one right side. So it's same thing, 2 double crochets in every row to clean this side out to see you once you're done. Alright, so I have both sides clean like this, and now we're going to work the edging at the bottom. Okay, the edging at the bottom, since I'm at the bottom, go into your next stitch and make a single crochet, and now we are going to be making 5 chains. Into that same space where you made your single crochet, make your single crochet, then chain 7 chains, and into that very same space make a single crochet. So we're making the picot edging. This is a triple picot, so chain 5, and in that same space make your third single crochet. So this is how it looks. It's our triple picot edging thing, more like frollo, like that. So you're now going to chain 3, 2 and 3, then skip stitches, 4 stitches. So skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and then into your 5th one make a slip stitch. Sorry, my stitches look that loose because I already did the edging and undid it, so this is my second time. So now you're going to chain 5, in that same stitch make a single crochet, then chain 7, into that very same stitch make a single crochet, then chain 5 and insert a single crochet in that very same stitch. So you have your second picot, and then chain 3, skip 4 stitches. This is how it looks. So chain 3, skip 4, and into your 5th one make a slip stitch. Okay, so it's supposed to be 4 slip stitch, then chain 5 and repeat the pattern. So it's 5, then 7, single crochet in that same space, and then chain 5 again and make a single crochet in that very same space. Okay, and then chain 3, skip 4, into the 5th stitch make a slip stitch. So you are going to do this at the bottom. This is how it looks like. Do the edging all through the bottom. Once you're done with the bottom, then you'll go ahead and do the sides. Okay, go up the bra cup, and once you get to the top of the bra cup, you are going to make 2 double crochets in that chain space, and then chain 1, make 2 double crochets again, and then go down again with the floral design. At the back I only did single crochets, and then go ahead again and do this. So I did mine, and this is what I'm talking about. So okay, you see up here I did 4 double crochets in that chain space, right, instead of the picot. And at the back here I only did single crochets, as you can see, and then went on with the design, the picot design on the other side, and this is how it looks like. Okay, so by now you should have something looking like this. This is going to be our front, and the other was the back. So we'll work the straps here. So now for the straps, you're in that double crochet right before the chain space at the top, you are going to insert your hook and reattach your yarn, and then you are going to make a chain. Okay, I will tighten this off by going back into that same chain with a single crochet, that same stitch with a single crochet. And now you're going to make enough chains that you know that are able to tie around your back, at the back of your back, sorry, of your neck. So make enough chain that ties at the back of your neck. Okay, and this is what I have. So we are going to work on knit backwards with a half double crochet, just to make it thick and, you know, more comfortable when you tie it around your neck. So work downwards, a half double crochet in every stitch. Okay, and I'll meet you at the bottom here. All right, so I worked my half double crochets, and you're going to skip the chain space, and into that very first stitch you are going to make a slip stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to go on top here, make my second slip stitch just to tighten it off, and then you will cut your yarn off. Okay, so cut off your yarn. So you have your one strap, right? So you'll sew in the ends. Now go ahead and do the other for the other bra-cup on that side, and I'll meet you once you are done with that. Then, all right, before you're done with that, then you'll go ahead and make chains right here at the bottom of the bra-cup for that front tie. So what I made chains in that for the front tie. All right, so I'm done with my two straps at the top, and I made these two chains on both ends. I made long ones. You can do a short one just to tie, you know, in the middle, but I made a long one because I wanted it to tie all the way down. So you can wear it in two ways, just like this. So the one on the left is tied all the way down, and the one on the right just has the front tie in the middle. Okay, just like this. All right, so this is how it looks. You should have something like this. Okay, and I really hope you like it. It is a quick project. I was so busy this week, I didn't have, you know, much time to do a tutorial, so I made this simple one. So if you like it, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe if you haven't. Yes, thank you so much. See you in my next tutorial. Bye.